friends, welcome to Sri Chaitanya. This is Uma Shankar, All India IIT Coordinator. Welcome to JEE Main Sure Daily Series Season 2. So far we have completed Season 1 successfully. And of course, even in Season 2 also, so far we have completed 7 series. Actually, the important part from this Season 2 is through this season we are providing the shortcuts, tips and some of the tests. Tests are either in the form of full tests, part tests or topic wise tests, or if possible some assignments also. Every test and every assignment, they are related with the corresponding JEE mains examination, and of course some of the things are very useful for advanced examination also. But my suggestion would be, please don't forget to check the description, because there in the description I am providing all the corresponding links of each and every section. Now today in JEE Main Sure Daily Series Season 2 and series number 8, we are concentrating matrices and determinant 1. This is the most important powerful chapter in mathematics, weightage topic. Minimum 2 to 3 questions. 2 questions are guarantee from this topic. Direct question is guarantee 1. And indirectly some application oriented question also we can expect from this chapter. Easily one can get the marks. Not only for mains examination, but even for advanced examination also this chapter is very important. Now here, as I mentioned earlier, in matrices and determinants, today we are concentrating 5 important concepts, and apart from that, for supporting to those 5 important concepts, some of the problems also that we are discussing. And along this, I am providing one assignment on matrices and determinants. Please collect that assignment through our description, links given by the links given in the description. So, okay, my friends. Now coming to concept number 1. See here in this particular video, in matrices and determinants, I am mainly concentrating on the properties. Sometimes they may ask as it is question statement as in the form of a bit also. Or sometimes for evaluating or for solving some other problems, these concepts are very essential for you. See, if my friends, suppose if A and B are 2 real numbers, and product of 2 real numbers is equal to 0 implies either A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. This is about real number theory, provided A and B are real numbers. But the story is completely different in matrices. That means if A and B are 2 matrices and O is a null matrix, and if capital AB equal to 0, that means product of 2 matrices is 0, then either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0 or both are 0 or both need not be equal to 0. This is important. Though it is very simple, but sometimes students may get confusion. They are comparing matrices with the real numbers. The elements in the matrices may be the real numbers or complex numbers, but original matrix is not a real number. Okay, that we are putting in the form of some structure. So be careful, this funda is very essential. So in multiple choice questions, they may give options in this way. Which of the following statement is not true? In that one, they may give, if AB equal to 0, then A equal to 0 is one option, and B equal to 0 another option. A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0, but AB equal to 0. Like that they may give options. So read clearly all options, then only you pick the exact one. Okay, now coming to next one. Here I am introducing some of the standard important matrices. They are very common matrices, but sometimes they may ask questions based on their properties. Of that, idempotent matrix is one. What is an idempotent matrix? A square matrix capital A. Here, be careful about the matrix nature. It is a square matrix. So, whenever we are talking about idempotent, first of all, there is a square matrix. A square matrix is said to be an idempotent if A square is equal to A. That means the product of the matrix with itself is nothing but the matrix. Then I can say that the matrix is idempotent. The same idempotent concept you will get even in our higher classes also. idempotent elements in linear algebra, idempotent points in complex planes, idempotent things in functional analysis in our higher classes also you will learn it. So this is the modest beginning for that one. So this is the definition for idempotent matrix. So they may give one 2 by 2 matrix or 3 by 3 matrix. In options, the matrix is options A, it is a singular matrix, non-singular matrix, idempotent matrix, involutory matrix. Like that they may ask the questions. In that aspect, this principle is very, very useful for you. Now coming to periodic matrix. You know what is a periodic function? Like that is a periodic matrix. A square matrix, see, every time I am concentrating on what? Square matrix. So all these properties are existing only for what? Square matrix. So a square matrix capital A is said to be periodic if A power k plus 1 is equal to A. That means, what do you mean by A square? A into A. What do you mean by A cube? A into A into A. That means A power k plus 1 into A power k plus 1 is equal to A means what? How many times that you are multiplying A with A itself, which is equal to A, then that k is an integer, positive integer, such that if k is the least positive integer such that A power k plus 1 is equal to A, then k is called the period of A. Then k is the period of A. Suppose A square is equal to A. Then A cube is also equal to A power 4 also equal to A, like that you can get it. But among 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, the least positive is what? That is called period. That is what period. Suppose A cube is equal to A. Then A power 4 equal to A power 5 equal to A, etc., etc. But among 3, 4, 5 and etc., the least positive integer is what? 3. Therefore, 3 is what? Period of A. That should be unique. So sometimes they may give questions like this. What is period of? If it is a periodic matrix, they may mention like this. If A is a periodic matrix, then what period is? In integer type of answer also we can expect questions to find the period of the matrix. Because they asked in one of the JEE mains examination also previous papers. Okay, now coming to concept number 2, nilpotent matrix. It is just like what is called periodic matrix type definition. But the thing is, a square matrix capital A is said to be the nilpotent matrix of index k, where k is the least positive integer such that A power k equal to O, null matrix. That is not 0. A power k equal to O, null matrix. That means, suppose if A cube equal to O, null matrix, then automatically A power 4 equal to O, A power 5 equal to O, etc., etc. So here 3, 4, 5, all these things are what? They are the indices of A. But among all, the 3 is the least one. Therefore, 3 is the least positive integer such that A cube is equal to O. Therefore, 3 is what? The index of the nilpotent matrix A. So they may ask questions in the form, if A is nilpotent, then find index. They may give questions like this. So after that you have to find what? The least value of k such that A power k. So for what integral power you are rising to A, that becomes a null matrix. That least positive value of k, least positive integral value of k indicates what? Index. So we can expect questions on index of nilpotent matrix. Now coming to involutory matrix. This is another important definition. A square matrix capital A is said to be involutory because it is very, very important. Sometimes the combination problems also we can expect from nilpotent and involutory also, provided A square is equal to I. That means the product of two matrices is equal to, that means the product of the matrix with itself is an identity matrix. The product of the matrix with itself is an identity matrix. Then the matrix is called an involutory matrix. Then the matrix is called what? An involutory matrix, where I is what? Identity matrix. Okay. So almost all the definitions are just similar. Only it varies. All are the square. We are talking about the square matrices only. So try to understand the behavior and the sentences, the information given in the statements. That is important. They should ask questions based on that information only. These are all the elementary. So there are so many matrices are there, but I am concentrating very few. They are very, very useful and important matrices in matrix theory. Because questions they may expect or we can expect from this kind of different matrices only. I am not concentrating on other matrices. Okay. The matrices which I am providing here are very, very useful. Okay, now coming to transpose of the matrix. What do you mean by transpose? If I have changed rows into columns and columns into rows, then the matrix obtained by given matrix is nothing but a transpose of the matrix. That means a matrix of order n by m is obtained by interchanging the rows and columns of matrix m by n, then A is called the transpose, and A transpose of A is denoted with A dash or A power t or A power small t. These are all are the notations. Suppose if A is a square matrix, then transpose of A is also a square matrix. Suppose if A is a 2 by 3 matrix, then transpose of A is a 3 by 2 matrix. Suppose if A equal to C matrix 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, then what could be the A transpose? That A transpose is equal to 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. So this is what initially 2 by 3 matrix. This becomes what a 3 by 2 matrix. Whereas in the previous all definitions we have concentrated only on what is square matrices, whereas for a transpose matrix the matrix need not be square, but transpose of the square matrix is always a square matrix. Why I am very much interested on transpose? Because we can expect with the properties of transpose matrices play very good role, and that we concentrate in the concept number 3. Each and every property is a very, very important property, and property itself is a bit also. That's why here I am highlighting under concept 3 all the best properties of transpose. What are those? A transpose whole transpose is equal to A. That means transpose of the matrix is itself. And transpose of sum of the matrices is equal to sum of the individual transposes. And Ka whole transpose is equal to where K is any number, K into A transpose. That means that a transpose is not applicable to the constant K, where K is a number. Okay, and product of two transpose, the transpose of the product of the matrices is equal to product of the transposed matrix taken in the reverse order. That is important. So among these 5 properties, first, second, fourth are very, very important, because you can we can expect very good questions on this particular one. The applications are also very, very essential. Now coming to concept number 4, symmetric matrix. If a square matrix, again I am concentrating on the square matrix. A square matrix is said to be symmetric if A transpose is equal to A. A square matrix is said to be symmetric what? When if A transpose is equal to A. Skew symmetric if A transpose is equal to minus A. Clear? Suppose if A is equal to, suppose C 1, 0, 0, 2. Suppose this is the matrix. What is A transpose? A transpose means 1, 0, 0, 2, which is nothing but A only. So it is what? A symmetric matrix. Similarly, if I got A transpose is equal to minus A, then the matrix is what? Skew symmetric. But now my favorite definition is orthogonal matrix. In JEE mains examination especially, questions were repeated on orthogonal matrix only. That's why to define orthogonal matrix, initially I have introduced what is a transpose and what is called identity and etc. things under concept number 2, 3 and 1 also. So my friends, what is orthogonal matrix? A square matrix capital A is called an orthogonal matrix if the product of the matrix A and its transpose is identity. That means if A into A transpose is identity, then the matrix is called orthogonal matrix. And of that, this note number 1 is very, very important. Even in 2020 JEE mains examination also, applications on this particular property, they have asked several questions. The thing is, they may give a matrix for you and they will ask find inverse of the matrix. In general, to find the inverse of the matrix, that becomes a lengthy process. Not difficult, it is a lengthy process. Why lengthy process? You have to find its determinant and you have to find its adjoint, and adjoint A by determinant becomes inverse. But if the matrix is an orthogonal, then the transpose of the matrix is nothing but inverse of the matrix. That is important. Similarly, second note, if A and B are orthogonal matrix, that means product of two orthogonal matrix is again a orthogonal. So this property itself is a bit. For example, in one of the entrance examination means either in the mains or in advanced examination, they asked this question. find A inverse. Suppose if it is A, find A inverse. If I am in your position, some people, or if other people, they can do, okay, immediately they are thinking like this. Okay, this is the matrix given for you. Okay, then what to find A inverse? They immediately find a determinant A and they will find adjoint A. Then they will divide A inverse is equal to adjoint A by det A. They will find inverse. No, not necessary. You just verify A into A transpose. What could be the A into A transpose? What will happen? Just you observe the first row. Then it becomes what? 900090009, you will get it. That means 9 into 100010001. That means 9I you can get it. Clear, my friends? That means A into A transpose is equal to not directly I, it is Ki. Okay, here I am giving another property. A into A transpose is equal to Ki, like this. Then automatically A inverse is what? 1 by K into A transpose. So what could be the A inverse now? A inverse is equal to 1 by 9 into, now take the transpose of this one. 1 minus 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, minus 2, 1, 2. Immediate, without wasting the time you can write it. They will give questions for finding inverse or something like this only. So it is just a matter of common sense. You just apply, you check whether the matrices are orthogonal or not. Immediately you can solve the problem. Like this, if you are practicing the problems in objective way, you will score and you will save the time and you will get confidence also. Now coming to the concept number 5, another important one. After orthogonal matrix and after symmetric and skew symmetric, etc., adjoint is very, very important. What is adjoint matrix? Suppose if A is a matrix, and if all the elements of A are replaced by its cofactors, then transpose of that matrix is called the adjoint matrix. That means if A is equal to A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3, this is a matrix. And capital A1, capital B1, capital C1 are respectively the cofactors of the elements small a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3 respectively. Then transpose of this matrix, that means what? a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, c3. This becomes what? Adjoint of A. That I can represent it with ADJA. This is basic definition of the adjoint matrix. But after that definition, the properties are very, very important. Each and every property, again I am telling a bit. Of that, number 1 is, if A is an n-row square matrix means it is of order n by n. Then A into adjoint A equal to, adjoint A into A equal to, determinant A into In. Suppose if A is a square matrix of order 2 by 2, then A into adjoint A equal to, adjoint A into A equal to, determinant A into I2. That means 1, 0, 0, 1. In general, for you, they give only 2 by 2 or 3 by 3. Because 4 by 4, 5 by 5 or n by n. In general, they may give answers of questions of n by n in generalized version only. But in problem solving point of view, they may concentrate only the 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 only. Okay, this is one of the important property. And from this property only, we are deriving all these deductions. They are very, very important. See, of that first deduction is, if A is an unrolled square singular matrix, what does it mean? Singular means if determinant of the matrix is 0, then the matrix is called a singular matrix. If determinant of A not equal to 0, then the matrix is a non-singular matrix. Okay. See, if n-row square matrix is singular matrix, that means if determinant A equal to 0, then what will happen? Actually, A into adjoint A is equal to adjoint A into A equal to det A into In. But det A becomes 0. So automatically that would be A into adjoint A becomes null matrix. So whenever the product of two, a matrix and its adjoint is a null matrix, then you can simply say that the matrix is what? A singular matrix. This is also a litmus test for identifying whether the matrix is singular or not without expanding the determinant. So like that we can expect the questions. Now coming to beautiful properties in deduction 2. If A is a n-rowed square matrix, that means n-rowed means n by n square matrix, and it is a non-singular matrix, that means determinant of A not equal to 0. Then determinant of adjoint A is equal to det A whole power n minus 1. Determinant of adjoint A is equal to det A whole power n minus 1. See my friends, they should ask the questions like this. If determinant of adjoint A equal to det A whole power 4, then what could be the order of the matrix? Then immediately you can say that the order of the matrix is 5. Because if it is 5 order, then only it becomes 5 minus 1, that is 4. See, the same question was repeated in one of the GATE examination also. They may ask the question like this. If A is an n by n square matrix, such that the elements of A are replaced by its cofactors, and the determinant of the newly obtained matrix with the cofactors is equal to square of the determinant of the given matrix, then what is the order of the matrix? This was the question they asked in one of the GATE examination. The same question was repeated even in advanced examination also. Immediately, nothing but that is adjoint A is equal to determinant A whole square. So what would be the order? 3 by 3. Like that questions we can expect with these properties. So don't forget to understand these properties. Again, adjoint of AB equal to adjoint B into adjoint A. Be careful about the reverse order. Similarly, adjoint A whole transpose is equal to adjoint of A transpose. Adjoint A whole transpose is equal to adjoint A transpose. And yes, D and E properties are now we are expecting soon they may give in any one of the examination, because several times questions were repeated on deduction A, for second deduction 2, it's A part, but at least in coming examinations we can expect questions on D and E directly. That means adjoint of adjoint A is equal to determinant A whole power n minus 2 into A, where A is a non-singular matrix. Just like that. If A is a n-rowed square matrix, non-singular square matrix, the question they may give like this. And if adjoint of adjoint A is equal to det A whole power 4A, then what would be the order? Like that questions we may expect. Similarly, determinant of adjoint A equal to det A whole power n minus 1 whole square, n minus 1 whole square, that is det A whole power n minus 1 whole square. Suppose if A is a square matrix of order n such that determinant of adjoint A, determinant of adjoint A equal to det A whole power that is 16. Suppose they give answer like this. Then what would be the order? The 16 means what? That I can write it as 4 square. That is a det A whole power 4 square. 4 square means what? 5 minus 1 whole square. So what would be the order? 5 is the order of the matrix. That means it is a square matrix of order 5 by 5. Like that, we can expect very good questions from the properties of adjoint matrix. Again, adjoint of the diagonal matrix is a diagonal matrix. Adjoint of the diagonal matrix is a diagonal matrix. Suppose if A is a diagonal matrix like this, A1 0 0 0 B1 0 0 0 C1, then what would be the adjoint A? Same. So if you are familiar with these properties, then solving and applying these properties becomes very easy for you. Thereby you will save the time. My friends, so in this first determinant lesson, in the first matrices and determinants lesson 1 in season 8, in series 8 of season 2, here I am mainly concentrated on the best properties. In general, in JEE mains examinations, questions are repeating and asking under these concepts only. Please practice the problems in your regular preparation also, and if possible, try to learn the proofs behind them also, because this is not the correct dash to give all the proofs. It takes time for you also. But if in your regular preparation, you do practice all the proofs. Hope you will enjoy this video, my friends. And again, another important one is adjoint of A inverse is equal to, that is adjoint A whole inverse. Suppose if they may give a matrix and they will ask the question like this, find adjoint of A inverse. Immediately what to do? You find adjoint only, and its inverse is nothing but adjoint of A inverse. Okay. So again, another important formula is, this formula is the very, very important. Suppose 3 lines are given for you. These are the equations of the sides of the triangle. then they will ask the question like this. Okay, what is the area of the triangle formed by these lines as sides? If they are asking the question like this, then one should solve two lines, thereby they will get three vertices A, B, C. Then with the help of the vertices, they can find the determinant formula, and with that they can find the area of the triangle. Not necessary. Just apply this formula. What could be the formula? You can write it directly. Determinant 1, 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 2, 2, 1 minus 1 whole square by 2 into determinant of 1, 1, 1 minus 1 into determinant of 1 minus 1, 2, 1 into determinant of 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. You simplify this, and this becomes the what? Area of the triangle. So within seconds, you can solve the problem very easily. So you can save the time also. So whenever three lines or three sides in the form of equations are given for you to find area of the triangle, this formula. What is that formula? If a1x plus a2 b1x b1y plus c1 equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0, a3x plus b3y plus c3 equal to 0, then area of the triangle is equal to determinant. Coefficients you take a1 b1 c1 a2 b2 c2 a3 b3 c3 whole square by 2 into determinant a1 b1 a2 b2 a2 b2 a3 b3 a1 b1 a3 b3. You solve this, that square units that you add it, then you will get the area of the triangle. So my friends, these are the most important concepts of matrices and determinants theoretical aspect point of view. Hope you will enjoy this. Please, if you enjoy this one, please share and like my channel, and we will meet with season 2 series number 9 soon, and wish you all the best.